What is up, YouTube? Welcome to another edition of Tools the Maintenance Man Enjoys to Use at Work. Now, I'll just start off with the two oldest here. And one is semi-retired, but recently I've been using it at work. It's an oldie but a goodie, which is the first Ryobi drill that I bought. Excuse me, I'm fighting a cold here. Now this is a P204. It's a 1/2 inch, 0 to 4400 and 0 to 1600. Two speed. Turn the clutch all the way up on that. It's got a little spirit level in the back. And these magnets, you know, I mean, it's not strong enough for that, but they do it's a nice little added feature. This one has no LED light or anything. You can see that the front end is, I mean, it when you run it, it's pretty darn straight. Not a lot of wobble, but this is starting to loosen up. No, I've just been using it for fun. You can kind of hear the motor in there is a little loose. It kind of jolts back and forth, but it's 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, somewhere in there. And it's held up. I mean, like I said, I started apartment maintenance. I'm going into my 4th year. Well, I am in my 4th year, but you know, I started the first 2 years. This was the drill I had, and I had a blue impact. Both have worked very well. The other tool I bought, this one I bought definitely 8 years ago. It is the Jigsaw. Now, the one I like about this is it accepts both types of jigsaws. You have the T-shank, and then I think you just have the straight or whatever. Goes, you know, blades go in there. We'll pull up on that. It has a laser. Like I said, I've never really trusted a laser on a Ryobi. Maybe if I start, no. Oh yeah, you can see it. You can see a laser down there. I mean, I have played with it, I have adjusted it, but you know, with jigsaws you can see it enough. And another thing too is it had blade storage in the back. A coworker broke that off when he was using it, but that did not, he said he'd buy me a new one, but I said nope, I like this one because it accepts both types of blades, makes life easy, and the thing's been working for a very long time, and I've been very happy with it. You know, no complaints there. And the jigsaw I use mostly for when I'm laying floor and stuff, you know, or doing carpentry work. It has a roll. The next thing is I bought this a little over 2 years ago. This is the cordless angle grinder. It's not brushless, but no electric stop or anything. I use this mostly for cutting up cement board. Sometimes I put and cut metal with it and stuff, and put the sanding discs and whatnot on here. or I think they're floppy disks, or I forget the fucking name of them. But this thing's been great. Like it comes with a handle. I didn't bring that home. The handle has a storage for the spanner wrench. So it's a very nice all-in-one tool. And, you know, for most projects that I do, like cutting cement board to lay tile or just signs, you know, getting paint off of signs or cutting through bolts or metal or whatever, you know, railings, all that type of stuff. That's what most of its use is for at our work. And, I mean, I do have a few corded ones, and sometimes you do need that corded power, but it's freaking nice to have portability. I think it, you know, when you're working in our field going in and out of apartments or just around grounds and stuff, the not having to worry about running extension cords is huge. Now, in the shop at work, we do have corded tools because, you know, sometimes you gotta fabricate something at work or build something or whatever the case may be, and you got corded tools in the shop to do that. Moving on to the next tool that is about 2 years old as well, and I have the corded Makita version SDS hammer drill. This is the Ryobi cordless, and it looks like a complete toy, but so with this you have just the hammer function. You have you could rotate it, like here, I'll show you. So this is an SDS bit. It has the slots. I think this is just SDS. I think there's SDS Plus and SDS Max or something like that. This is not the Max. So I don't know what that function does exactly. What the heck? Just hammer. This one is hammer and spin. This one is hammer and drill. And this one is just drill. Now, I'll bring you up on the close-up here. So it is the P222 18 volt 0 to 1300 and 0 to 5000 beats per minute, I guess. This is what I've come here. I'll show you both sides so you can just kind of see the everything on it. It's got like the anti-vibration handle and stuff. So what I've found myself using that for the most is really a few things. One, it's so much easier going into brick and stuff. Not saying that the other type of hammer drill doesn't do the job, but that's just 100 times easier. And also, a lot of times we use that to lift up old floor and stuff like tile and all that. And we also use it when you're doing plumbing in old buildings. You're going through cement block and you're going to put one of these on there and just go at it. Probably not use this. They also have like a spike chisel. You kind of got to use both. And also toilet flanges. You got to chip away the cement if the flange is bad. And then gotta you know, to get the new toilet flange in. I did not think that this would have the power to do that, but it does. I thought I'd have to, so the Makita's kind of been sitting in its case because this does absolutely everything I need it to do. And last but not least is going to be a corded tool. And that corded tool, I bought this 3 years ago. And it is a Black & Decker RTX 3-speed rotary tool. 12,000, 24,000, 30,000 RPMs. I think this does have, it's a rotary switch and it's high, medium, and low. I actually kind of like that because it's not like 1 through 10 and you're just spinning. It's just you're either going small chooch or full chooch or somewhere in the middle chooch. Now, I think it does say, so here's the back end of it. You know, there's a stamping on here somewhere. It's set there, 2016. The reason why I went with this, the Black & Decker, was it was like $30, and it accepts this right angle bit made by Dremel. It accepts that, it uses it, it works. I have tried to buy Wen with one of those after I got this one. I should have just got another one of these. This still works. It works great. If you're working on a door lock or something, you can, you know, grind down the actual strike plate. Sometimes the door is swelling stuff, and instead of pulling the screws and moving it, you can take a little bit off your strike plate and get that to close. And that way you're not screwing around with a lot of stuff. I've really enjoyed using that tool though. That's impressed me. Stuff like this by Black & Decker and their sanders and stuff, for what I do, they've held up pretty well. So those are just a couple more tools that I use that have gotten me through some jobs. Alright, catch you later.